like I said previously, when it comes to JVs, it's one of your only passive ways of generating income. So instead of just focusing on point of sale, you can have a business that exists and runs without your own personal business doing any transactions. So what I mean by that, so let's say that I were to partner with you, Greg, in Myrtle Beach, and you had how many closings in the last 20 years? Let's call it 10,000. I don't know what your numbers would be.
Yeah, it was almost 4,000 last year. So it's
okay.
a lot.
So let's call it 50,000, 100,000,
whatever it is. Yeah.
And that's just your closings. That's not how many people are in your database. Well, every one of these people has a home and auto insurance policy intact today to cover their home and autos. Every one of them. Now, some are captive. So they're at a company like State Farm or Liberty Mutual, and some are with an independent firm that can sell 20 or 30 different products. Independent of who they're with, somebody's collecting money every year. Most people don't know how much that money is. So I'll break it down for your listeners. The typical premium in the US is around $3,000 for 2 autos and a home. So out of the $3,000, there's a commission paid on year 1 of 15%. But every year you renew, if it's captive or independent, it's a 12% commission. So just to keep the numbers easy, let's call it $500. Every year someone renews their home and auto insurance policy, there's $500. So if you had 100 people, take 500 times 100 every year. If you had 200 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, you guys can listen and do the math. But that's residual. That's passive income every single year, as long as the insurance company does a good job retaining their clients. So last year on 2,000 sides, we had 1,000 buy sides. We closed 60% of those buyers into our insurance product. So 600 buyers. Every year, those stay with us. We obviously will be able to collect on that. But the thing that gets me most excited isn't point of sale. It's all of the other people. All of the people from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, when they closed. So they start shopping insurance 6 weeks to 8 weeks before their closing date, because that's their renewal date on their insurance product. And I assume you didn't sell them insurance 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So what we're doing is we're partnering with brokerages that have tens of thousands of pieces of data, contact information, and they've built a relationship of trust with this list. And so if you're listening to this formula, this applies to every industry, not just in insurance. The goal for all of us and anyone listening is to build businesses that can upsell products of value to a list of people that you have in a database that know you, like you, trust you. That could be cable, that could be security, that could be lawn services. It could be anything and everything under the sun. I like insurance because it's so simple. It's easy to quote. It takes us 2 minutes. The back office work is easy. Admin can do it for $10 an hour, and it makes us $500 a year, which isn't sexy by itself. But when you take 500 times 10,000, it starts to get pretty sexy. And the best part of it is the exit. So people talk about multipliers in a business. It's based on EBITDA times the multiplier. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxation, and appreciation. And so you take that times a 3 to 5x as a normal business. Right now, insurance has a 12x multiplier. So if you have a book of business that's bringing in $1 million net a year on EBITDA, you could sell that today for $12 million. Last year, we brought in 450,000, and that was in our first year. And so we believe over 10 years from now, our book will be worth about $10 million in Omaha, Nebraska. And our goal is to be in hundreds of offices across the country in the next 5. So pretty exciting. And we go into a joint venture. So the people we partner with, just like the deal you're probably looking at, you don't have to do any of the insurance work. You don't have to have an insurance license. You just have to give them access to your book of business and then your past book of business, and you let them do their magic.